registered in 14 states this month alone. 56 of the cases have been linked to an outbreak at Disneyland in California. And now, just days before the Super Bowl in Phoenix, health officials are monitoring more than 1,000 people in Arizona who may have been exposed to measles. Dan Simon is out front in San Francisco tonight, where the controversy over vaccines is spreading. And Dan, I know you spoke with a family that is stirring up a very significant debate. They are taking a stand, putting this on the front burner where it deserves to be. What are they doing?
Well, Erin, as we all know, there's just a certain number of parents who don't want to vaccinate their children. Well, I spoke to these parents. They live in Marin County, just north of San Francisco, and they say, if you don't want to vaccinate, okay. Well, we don't think your children have any business coming to our son's school. This is a bold statement, to be sure, but for them, this is very personal. 6-year-old Rhett Crowwood is not vaccinated for measles or anything else, but it has nothing to do with religion or his parents' philosophy towards vaccines. Rhett has been battling leukemia. He's in remission now and healthy, but 1,000 doses of chemo weakened his immune system.
The vaccinations that he had when he was a baby are basically wiped out by all the antibodies are wiped out by the chemotherapy. And then they have to wait until his immune system is strong enough to revaccinate him.
Until then, his parents have an idea, and a controversial one. They want Rhett's school in Marin County, California, to bar any children who haven't been vaccinated. Such a move, they argue, would decrease Rhett's chances of getting the measles, which in his case could lead to death, according to his doctor.
And this is not just about Rhett. This is about all kids that have immune dysfunction, whether it's from chemotherapy or an underlying immunodeficiency syndrome.
Instead of waiting for an outbreak and reacting to what is a disease, let's get ahead of it and avoid having that outbreak in the first place.
Here in California and other states, there are exemptions that allow parents to opt out of vaccines and still send their children to school. Are your children vaccinated?
For the most part.
Tracy Skitt has children at Rhett's school. She did get them vaccinated for measles, but not everything else the school requires. So she got an exemption, which in California requires the form to also be signed by a healthcare professional. She doesn't believe in forced immunizations.
And we live here in Marin County, which is a liberal place. It's a well-educated group of people. It's a thoughtful group of people. And I think if parents are choosing not to vaccinate, it's probably for a reason.
The numbers are not trivial. More than 6% of kindergartners here have personal belief exemptions. That's nearly 3 times the state average of 2.5%. Nationally, it's 1.8%. In a statement provided to CNN, the school district tells us California law protects the rights of parents to refuse to vaccinate their children, and in doing so, prohibits schools from excluding these children from school unless there is an active outbreak. Rhett's parents concede they're on the losing side of the battle, but still hope some good will come of it.
What we're trying to achieve is herd immunity. What we're trying to achieve is to raise the immunization rates so we don't have to worry about measles.
And they also don't want to worry about their kids suffering through another horrible disease, Erin. As I said, they know that they're probably going to lose this one, but they're just glad to be triggering this national conversation. Erin?
Well, it's an important national conversation to have, especially when you look at the science and the reality. Thank you very much, Dan. And I want to bring in Dr. Armand Dorian in Los Angeles, where the measles outbreak is believed to have begun at Disneyland, and Dr. Jack Wolfson in Phoenix, where health officials are monitoring more than 1,000 people who may have been exposed. Okay, I appreciate both of you being with us. You have very different points of view. Dr. Dorian, let me start with you. The current outbreak is continuing to grow. Cases, as I mentioned, confirmed in 14 states, including California and Arizona. Many blame the anti-vaccination movement. Is that fair to link the two things together, that the anti-vaccination movement is somehow linked to the outbreak?
There's no question. You have to link the two together. Look, in 1964, there was 3 to 4 million cases in the United States every year. After the vaccine development in 2000, we eliminated measles. Since then, when people started not immunizing their kids, this outbreak has begun. The numbers are clear. It's straightforward. There is no controversy. This is something that is being propagated by people who don't understand the medicine.
And Dr. Wolfson, the number of cases has more than tripled in the past year. I know you are opposed, you're on the opposite side here, to vaccinating children with MMR, which is the vaccine for measles, mumps, and rubella. It is, to be fair, one of the most widely studied vaccines in the world. Links to autism have been widely discredited, yet many people are not vaccinating. In fact, a majority of the measles cases in this outbreak, which I think is important to mention, have involved people who were not vaccinated. So why do you oppose the vaccine?
Well, what I'm opposed to is the fact that we're injecting chemicals into our children. This is aluminum, mercury, sometimes aborted fetal proteins. There's antibiotics in there. We're doing something that is totally foreign and totally unnatural to our children. We are experimenting on our children. Our children have the right to get infections. We have immune systems for that purpose. As the doctor previously said, there were millions of cases. Rarely did anybody die from this. These are typically benign childhood conditions. We cannot sterilize the body. We cannot sterilize our society. We need to be affected by these viruses, bacteria.
So
we need to be aware of
ridiculous.
these things, and we can treat it all naturally.
Yearly, 4,000 people were debilitated because of just measles alone. 500 people would die yearly from that illness. If you think that's trivial, I can't believe you're actually a physician. Look, this is the most studied element
I'm
in
not sure
medicine.
where you
This
get
is
your
something
facts
that
from.
is actually
Your
the
facts
biggest
are correct.
Hold
Go
on.
to the
Dr.
CDC
Dorian, finish, and then
website.
Dr. Wolfson, I'll give you a chance to reply.
This is the biggest revolution in medicine. Vaccines have saved more lives than you and I and any other physician combined. For you to talk about toxins, that's something that people who were talking about autism have now jumped onto toxins. It's pharmacology. It's dose dependent. Water can be toxic. It all depends on the amount you're giving. We've tested vaccines and we've saved lives. It's people like you that bother me because you're a physician. It's one thing for a layperson to not understand vaccinations, but as a physician, for you to go out there and tell people to not vaccinate, that's egregious.
Okay.
That's something that you're doing a disservice to the public.
All right, Dr. Wolfson.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, sir. I mean, but the reality is that I'm a board-certified
Doctor, please.
cardiologist. I've studied all these issues for years, and the reality is that you're talking about benign childhood conditions. If you go to the CDC website, the Center for Disease Control, you go to their website, you can see that for years.
That's what I'm quoting, by the way. That's what I'm
death
quoting.
rates.
By the way, I
excuse me,
take
please
care
let
of
me
Hold on.
people
finish.
who are
Dr.
immunized.
Dorian, let him finish his point.
So once again, whether it's chickenpox, it's measles, it's mumps, rubella, listen, there's 70 people who have it right now, or 80, whatever the number is. They're not dying. These are benign childhood conditions that once the child gets it, they will be immune forever. You are artificially injecting chemicals to try and stimulate the immune system. That's not the same thing. We all had chickenpox as children, and we're all fine because of it.
Okay,
It
let me
is
just
our
say,
right,
the CDC
and we are not
says
gonna
that
inject
measles can
chemicals.
lead to pneumonia, lifelong brain damage, deafness, and death. You keep using the word
Yeah, is
benign.
that trivial?
I don't
Is that
understand the
trivial?
word benign and those four things in the same sentence.
Well, I understand that, but the reality is that the numbers do not demonstrate that. Bad things can happen to anybody. We can be in a car accident, we can be in a toaster fire. Bad things can happen, but the reality is that we need to keep our children healthy. We need to give them good food. We need to keep chemicals away from them. They need to get appropriate sleep. They need to get appropriate chiropractic care. Actual healthy doctors, as opposed to pill pushers and chemical pushers like the person that I'm on television with right now.
Final word, Dr. Dorian.
Listen, what I'm trying to tell you is, yes, we want our kids to be healthy. Yes, we want them to exercise. Yes, we want them to eat properly. But we also want to actually honor medicine and understand research. We actually have saved millions of lives because of vaccinations. And I, on a daily basis, take care of people who are infected by illnesses because they did not vaccinate. I see their eyes. I see their family members. And I can't believe you, as a physician, can look and say that they should not be vaccinated. That just is not part of the Hippocratic Oath. You are doing harm, doctor.
All right, I'm gonna leave it there, but I leave it to our viewers to, I mean, you know, look, as a parent, I'm gonna just admit my point of view here. Vaccinated my child, did the research. It was very clear. It did not seem to me to be any sort of a question. Always open to hearing the other side, but doing the research, it appeared to be extremely clear. There is no question, vaccinate. Out front next, new details on the final moments of Air Asia Flight 8501. We're going to go inside the cockpit and a murder mystery involving one of football's biggest stars. He could have been playing in the Super Bowl, but instead he is on